Amal Clooney, now known as Amal Clooney, isn't just George Clooney's bride. She's a brilliant, accomplished woman who has captured global admiration, not only for her stunning beauty, but for her powerful work as a human rights lawyer. From representing high-profile cases to standing up for justice on an international scale, Amal's life is nothing short of extraordinary. Today, we'll explore the journey of a modern icon whose wedding may have made headlines, but whose achievements have truly made history: George Clooney's early Hollywood days and his first marriage to Talia Balsam. George Clooney's career in the late 1980s was a blend of aspirations and struggles. He was a young actor, ambitious yet still finding his way in the labyrinth of Hollywood, not yet the celebrated figure we know today. He had an undeniable charm and talent, but these qualities were not yet enough to secure a stable career. He met Talia Balsam, an actress from a distinguished showbiz family during this period. Balsam, already familiar with Hollywood's glitz, had her own established footing in the industry, coming from a family well-versed in the demands of acting and public life. Their relationship, beginning in this high-energy period of Clooney's career, seemed like a perfect match at the time. They shared the same professional world, understood its highs and lows, and both likely found comfort in the common ground they shared. Their marriage in 1989 was Clooney's first serious commitment, but this commitment came at a time when he was still grappling with personal goals and career ambitions. Although he was known for roles on television, he had not yet become the superstar he is now. The pressures of the entertainment world, along with Clooney's emerging focus on his career, began to weigh on the relationship. In later years, Clooney would openly reflect on his lack of maturity at the time, admitting that he hadn't been ready for the responsibilities marriage entailed. This sense of unpreparedness and his relentless ambition led to strain in their relationship. Clooney's career gradually started gaining traction, and he became more engrossed in his professional aspirations, often prioritizing work over personal life, a decision that would later shape his views on relationships and marriage. The end of their marriage in 1993 was marked by a level of grace not always seen in Hollywood breakups. Unlike the often turbulent separations of celebrity couples, Clooney and Balsam managed to part ways without public scandal. Both have shown a mutual respect and have seldom revisited the details of their relationship in the public sphere. For Clooney, however, the experience seemed transformative. He frequently reflected on the marriage as a period of personal growth, gaining a new understanding of what it meant to be in a committed relationship. The failure of his first marriage, he confessed, was largely due to his own limitations and the lessons he would carry from it for years. Bachelor years. Clooney's pledge to remain unmarried. Following his divorce from Balsam, Clooney surprised fans and the media by adopting a determined stance on marriage. He openly declared he was done with the institution, stating that his experience with Balsam had shown him he wasn't cut out for it. This wasn't a mere offhand comment. Clooney's commitment to bachelorhood became almost a defining characteristic of his public persona for years. Throughout the late 1990s and early 2000s, Clooney was seen as the quintessential bachelor. He dated high-profile women, appeared at numerous red carpet events, and lived what seemed to be a glamorous, carefree lifestyle. But his declaration against marriage gave rise to a narrative around Clooney. He was the Hollywood A-lister who preferred his freedom over the traditional notion of love and commitment. In interviews, he would repeatedly joke about his aversion to marriage, often adding that he had learned his lesson. However, beneath the public persona lay a man who had been profoundly affected by the failure of his first marriage. His decision to avoid marriage seemed not to stem from bitterness, but rather from a deep-seated understanding that he wasn't ready for the kind of selflessness marriage demands. Clooney's journey as a bachelor was filled with career highs and an ever-expanding social circle. Yet he appeared to live a relatively private life, always cautious about delving into serious relationships. Meeting Amal Clooney. A new chapter. In 2013, Clooney met Amal Clooney, a prominent human rights lawyer known for her intelligence, beauty, and unwavering commitment to justice. This encounter would mark a turning point in Clooney's life, leading him to reassess his long-held beliefs about love and partnership. Amal's background and accomplishments were nothing short of extraordinary. As a lawyer with a profound dedication to human rights, she had a reputation that rivaled Clooney's in terms of global impact. Her life and career were far removed from the Hollywood scene, bringing a fresh perspective that intrigued Clooney. The two connected on a level that transcended the glitz of Hollywood, sharing mutual values and a sense of purpose that deepened their bond. Clooney's relationship with Amal transformed him in a way few expected. He became more grounded, openly expressing admiration for her work and even crediting her for inspiring him to take on more humanitarian causes. Their marriage in 2014 was celebrated worldwide, described by many as the wedding of the year, as Clooney, the man who once vowed never to marry again, had finally found someone with whom he could envision a future. Their marriage has since become a symbol of a true partnership, blending Hollywood with humanitarian efforts. Together, they have used their platform to advocate for global issues, from refugee rights to justice for victims of war crimes, demonstrating a shared commitment to making a positive difference in the world. Reflecting on his past with Talia Balsam. Clooney's reflections on his marriage to Balsam have taken on a new tone since marrying Amal. He has spoken with respect and maturity about his relationship with Balsam, acknowledging that he wasn't ready at the time for the sacrifices marriage requires. His honesty about his shortcomings has shed light on his growth and evolution. While he has occasionally expressed regret for how things ended, he maintains a respectful distance from the specifics of their past. Talia Balsam, too, has continued her career successfully, creating her own identity outside of their relationship. Her dignified handling of the post-divorce years highlights the mutual respect they both hold. George and Amal Clooney. A modern love story. The Clooney's marriage has captured public fascination, not only for their glamour but for their genuine connection. Their public appearances are often marked by affectionate glances and a visible camaraderie, showcasing a partnership that seems based on mutual respect and admiration. George has openly celebrated Amal's achievements, often sharing that she inspires him in ways he had not anticipated. Their union represents more than just Hollywood glamour. It stands as a testament to finding love after personal growth and learning from past mistakes. The couple's journey is underscored by a shared commitment to meaningful causes, using their platforms to influence change. Together, they have made an impact on social and political issues, from addressing corruption and injustice to supporting refugee rights. Their relationship, rooted in shared values and respect, has offered Clooney a new outlook on life, one that he often describes as deeply fulfilling. George Clooney's journey through marriage, bachelorhood, and ultimately fatherhood has been one of the most intriguing and surprising narratives in Hollywood. For years, Clooney was the epitome of the confirmed bachelor, a symbol of independence, charisma, and a reluctance to settle down. His past relationships had been widely publicized, but it was his steadfast refusal to marry again after his first divorce that cemented his reputation as Hollywood's most eligible and seemingly untouchable bachelor. However, this carefully constructed identity came crashing down when Clooney found himself in a relationship that would not only change his views on marriage, but redefine his entire approach to life. A relationship with Amal Clooney. The path to independence. Clooney's early years. George Clooney's first marriage to actress Talia Balsam in 1989 seemed like a natural step for both individuals. Clooney, still a relatively unknown actor at the time, was navigating the turbulent waters of Hollywood and adjusting to his growing public persona. Balsam, the daughter of actor Martin Balsam, came from a showbiz family and understood the demands of the industry. But despite their shared experiences in entertainment, their marriage ended in divorce just 4 years later, in 1993. In the years following his divorce, Clooney openly reflected on the reasons his first marriage fell apart. He admitted that he wasn't ready for the level of commitment marriage required, largely because he was focused on his career. At the time, he was still finding his footing in Hollywood, but as his career began to take off, Clooney's personal life seemed to fall into the background. He wasn't looking for another serious relationship, and his lack of maturity, combined with the pressures of the entertainment industry, made it difficult for him to give the marriage the attention it needed. Following the end of his first marriage, Clooney was often asked about his experience, and he made it clear that he didn't harbor any ill will toward his ex-wife. He frequently emphasized that he had learned valuable lessons from the relationship, acknowledging his own shortcomings and how they had contributed to the failure of the marriage. Clooney's candor about his first marriage allowed him to transition into his next phase of life without being weighed down by past regrets. It was clear from his reflections that Clooney had come to view marriage as something he would not be rushing into again. He declared that he had no intention of remarrying, and for many years he stayed true to that vow. His independence became a defining characteristic of his public persona, and the media, along with his fans, began to see him not only as an A-list actor, but as an eternal bachelor who would never conform to the traditional narrative of love and marriage. The charismatic bachelor, Clooney's Hollywood persona. For decades, George Clooney's bachelorhood was seen as a badge of honor. He was, after all, the charming, silver-haired leading man whose talents, humor, and good looks captivated audiences across the globe. Clooney's lifestyle, which involved a series of high-profile relationships but no serious commitments, only heightened his status as the ultimate eligible bachelor. Clooney was regularly seen with glamorous women, attending high-profile events and making appearances at lavish parties. Yet despite his fame and attractiveness, he seemed impervious to the pressures of marriage. His witty remarks about relationships, his apparent happiness in being single, and his refusal to succumb to the typical Hollywood marriage narrative made him a symbol of freedom and independence. Clooney's narrative was one of self-sufficiency. He was a man who didn't need marriage to be fulfilled. During this time, Clooney's relationships with women were frequently discussed in the media, but he rarely appeared to take the gossip to heart. He had a remarkable ability to navigate these questions with humor, often poking fun at his bachelor status and giving the impression that he was perfectly content with his life. This not only increased his appeal, but also cemented his position as one of Hollywood's most desirable and unattached stars. While many of his peers were juggling marriages, divorces, and the often messy entanglements that came with those unions, Clooney seemed to glide through life unscathed. His relationships, though public, were rarely marked by drama or controversy. He was known for maintaining a level of professionalism and respect in all his personal affairs, which made him even more alluring. His lifestyle became something of a Hollywood legend, and the media loved the idea of the man who could have any woman he wanted, but chose to remain single. The unlikely transformation. Amal Clooney's life, however, was about to take a dramatic turn when he met Amal, a brilliant and accomplished human rights lawyer. The connection between the two was instant. Clooney, who had spent years adamantly avoiding marriage, found himself drawn to Amal in a way he hadn't experienced before. Amal was not a model or a socialite. She was an intellectual powerhouse who had her own successful career and was completely unfazed by Clooney's Hollywood persona. What set Amal apart from the women Clooney had been involved with in the past was her sense of independence. She wasn't interested in being swept off her feet by the glitz and glamour of Hollywood. Rather, she was focused on her work, which included representing clients in high-profile cases related to international law, and her unwavering dedication to human rights made her stand out as someone with purpose and passion. Clooney, who had always been the charming, charismatic one in his relationships, found himself captivated not just by her beauty, but by her intellect and her convictions. Amal, in turn, wasn't impressed by Clooney's fame or wealth. She had already carved out a successful career for herself and wasn't looking for a life in the spotlight. This mutual respect and admiration for each other's talents and ambitions created a strong foundation for their relationship. For the first time in years, Clooney was in a partnership that was built on something deeper than just attraction. A surprising proposal. The end of bachelorhood. The relationship between Clooney and Amal progressed quickly, and by 2014, just months after they began dating, Clooney found himself down on one knee, proposing to Amal. This was a pivotal moment in Clooney's life, one that surprised everyone, including him. He had spent so many years publicly declaring that he would never marry again, yet here he was, engaged to a woman who had completely transformed his view on love and commitment. Clooney has spoken about how nervous he was when he proposed, something he had never anticipated. But there was no doubt in his mind that Amal was the one. For the first time, he realized that he was ready to commit to someone, and it was because Amal had shown him a different side of life, one that involved not just professional success, but also deep personal connection. Their wedding, held in Venice in September 2014, was a fairy tale event that captivated the world. The media buzzed with excitement at the news that George Clooney, the Hollywood bachelor who had sworn off marriage for so long, was getting married. The event itself was intimate and elegant, attended by friends, family, and celebrities, and it signaled the end of Clooney's bachelor days. A new chapter: fatherhood and family. In 2017, Clooney's life was again transformed with the birth of his twins, Ella and Alexander. Becoming a father in his 50s was a new chapter that Clooney had never planned for, but he embraced it wholeheartedly. In interviews, Clooney has expressed how much he loves being a father and how much joy his children bring into his life. The man who had once declared that he was not interested in marriage or children was now a devoted husband and father, and the transformation was nothing short of remarkable. His relationship with Amal only deepened as they navigated parenthood together. Clooney often speaks about the joy of raising their children and how their bond has strengthened as a result. He has become more open about his family life, showing a side of himself that was previously kept private. The couple's ability to balance their demanding careers with their commitment to each other and their children has garnered admiration from many. What is most striking about this transformation is the way Clooney's approach to family has evolved. For someone who once placed so much emphasis on his independence and freedom, becoming a husband and father was a significant shift. However, it's clear that Clooney found something in his relationship with Amal that made him want to embrace a traditional family life. Their partnership has been a source of joy and fulfillment for Clooney, and it is a testament to the fact that sometimes love can come when you least expect it. The final transformation: the new George Clooney. Looking at George Clooney today, it's hard to imagine that he was once the Hollywood bachelor who swore off marriage. His relationship with Amal has brought out a new side of him, one that is deeply invested in family and love. He is no longer the single man who could have any relationship he wanted, but the husband of a brilliant woman and the father of twin children. The transformation of George Clooney from the confirmed bachelor to a dedicated husband and father is one of the most surprising and heartwarming stories in Hollywood. While his marriage to Amal was unexpected, it was clear that their connection was unique and powerful enough to change Clooney's outlook on life. His journey has shown that sometimes love can surprise you, and even the most steadfast bachelors can find themselves ready to settle down when the right person comes into their life. For years, George and Amal Clooney have been the epitome of a high-profile Hollywood couple, admired for their success, charm, and seemingly perfect partnership. Yet recently, rumors have begun circulating about their relationship, with whispers from so-called insiders suggesting that the demands of their respective careers might be causing tension in their marriage. While it's not uncommon for the busy lives of celebrities to create challenges in their personal relationships, the Clooneys are often seen as the ultimate power couple, highly accomplished, equally driven, and seemingly perfectly in sync. Still, with the relentless nature of their careers and the physical distance often between them due to their work, speculation has arisen that the pressure of maintaining such demanding lives could eventually take a toll on their relationship. But is there any truth to these claims? Or are they merely a product of gossip and the public's constant fascination with celebrity marriages? The demands of their careers. One of the main points of contention surrounding George and Amal's marriage is the sheer amount of time they spend apart due to their work commitments. George Clooney, known for his multifaceted career in Hollywood, is constantly on the move, whether he's acting, directing, producing, or managing his production company, Smokehouse Pictures. His film projects often take him to distant locations around the world, requiring long hours on set, film premieres, and international events. For someone like George, whose career is deeply tied to the global entertainment industry, constant travel and extended periods away from home are simply part of the job. On the other hand, Amal Clooney's career as a human rights lawyer is just as demanding, if not more so in some ways. As an international attorney specializing in human rights law, Amal is frequently called upon to represent clients in high-profile international cases, working on issues such as war crimes, refugees' rights, and international justice. Her legal work often takes her to various parts of the world, whether it's to attend conferences, meet with government officials, or represent her clients in courtrooms. As a result, both George and Amal are constantly flying in and out of different countries, which leads to periods of separation for the couple, something that's almost inevitable given the nature of their respective jobs. Given their high-profile careers, it's not difficult to see why rumors have surfaced regarding the strain on their marriage. When two people in a relationship have such demanding and globe-trotting careers, finding time for one another becomes a significant challenge. The physical distance, combined with the emotional toll that constant travel can take, can understandably lead to doubts about whether their marriage can withstand the pressures of their superstar lives. One of the most talked about factors contributing to this narrative is the couple's young family. George and Amal welcomed twins, Ella and Alexander, in 2017, and the demands of parenthood on top of their busy careers make it even more difficult to strike a balance. Raising young children requires significant time and energy, and with both parents frequently away due to work commitments, many have questioned how they manage to keep their family life intact. This has only fueled speculation that the Clooney's marriage could be headed for trouble. Gossip magazines and tabloids love to latch onto stories about celebrity couples seemingly drifting apart, and in this case, the idea of a glamorous Hollywood couple slowly unraveling due to the pressures of their superstar careers is one that fits into a classic narrative that the public loves to follow. The foundation of their relationship. From the very beginning, George and Amal's relationship was built on a strong foundation of admiration and shared values. When they met in 2013, it was clear that Amal wasn't just another glamorous Hollywood figure or supermodel. She was an accomplished, highly respected lawyer who was already making a significant impact in the world. George, who had long been known for his charm and playful attitude toward marriage, was drawn to Amal in a way that no one had expected. She challenged him intellectually. She had a life outside of Hollywood, and she wasn't swept up by the celebrity whirlwind that followed George wherever he went. Their relationship quickly became something more than just a passing romance. It was a partnership between two incredibly driven individuals who shared a mutual respect for one another. George, for his part, has never shied away from expressing his admiration for Amal's work. He frequently praises her for the impact she makes as a human rights lawyer, highlighting her dedication to causes such as international justice and refugee rights. This respect is clearly mutual. Amal has always supported George in his endeavors, attending his film premieres and showing up at important events to stand by his side. The couple is frequently seen at major red carpet events, where Amal's elegance and George's charisma create an undeniable dynamic. Despite the pressures of their respective careers, they seem committed to making their marriage work and supporting each other in every aspect of their lives.